It's Sea-Duck again is brought to you by Hackensack Brewing Company and their Imperial Pilsner Auga, which was created in honor of the legendary DJs The Awesome Two. Thick Crates, pure hip-hop satisfaction. Check out their limited edition new releases available now on Instagram. Weaponized Records, an independent music label serving up underground hip-hop. The revolution will not be televised. It will be weaponized. And the Spitslam Record Label Group. The Spitslam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spitslam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
It's C-Doc again.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to another Tuesday night episode of It Is C-Doc again. I'm your host, C-Doc. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. As always, got a wonderful guest tonight. Looking forward to talking to him. But first up, got to bring in the crew. Got to bring the squad. First up, she got her start in classic rap radio, the very first all 24-hour hip-hop station, or 24-hour all hip-hop station. I would say that backwards. I'm talking about KDAY in Los Angeles. And, of course, it's our lady from the heyday of K-Day, Jennifer O. Jenny.
And momentarily, I can still do this.
Yeah!
All right.
You can always do that, Jen. Come on now.
Unless I'm not here.
Yeah, but you can still do it.
True.
West Side till you die.
True that. Born and raised.
Exactly. You're the West Side gal. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
You're our West Side connection.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So to speak. So. Yes. Also joining us tonight, of course, the man with one of the dopest accounts on Instagram. And what are you if you don't follow him? Well, a sucker, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Ultramax 7.
I guess I better bow down because Jennifer's in town. Gotta bow down.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I heard West Side Connection, you know. What I heard.
Yeah. No. Understood.
That's me. Yeah, all day long.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's her. So, what's up, Ultra?
Nothing and everything at the same time.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
You know that life, Doc. You know that life.
Yeah.
Everything and nothing.
Everything and nothing. Yep. Yeah. Yes, indeed. And of course, our final co-host is the man who runs Chuck D's internet radio station, rap station, the president of rap station, the man behind Hip Hop Gods. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show with a brand new restarted computer, Flatline.
Yes. Why does it happen every time I'm about to
I don't know.
Every time.
Yep, every time. Yeah.
Probably just start counting on it. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do. Use it as a
Restart it 20 minutes before.
Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
Just do it like that. So.
Yeah.
Yes. So remind me. I want to talk about something at the end of the show, but I'm not going to talk about it now because our guest is here. Let's just get into it. You know, why waste time?
Do it.
MC from Los Angeles, California. The hip hop Hitchcock, if you will. I can't talk tonight, man. Damn it. Just messing all this stuff up. I'm trying to be slick
going
and
on?
failing
Better get a
miserably.
drink. Better get a drink.
Hopefully our guest will talk and I won't have to, so I can just shut up and quit tripping over words. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mykill Miers.
Peace, y'all. Peace. How y'all doing, man?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there, bro.
Yes.
Yes,
You made a surprise appearance, a few episodes back, but now, you get the spotlight, so.
Yeah, that was crazy. It went from check it out to like put me on. So,
Yeah. That's welcome to our show. That's what we do here. It's always kind of crazy. So, yeah. So, Mike, how are things with you lately? I like to see what you got going on currently. What's new in your world?
Currently, man, I am putting the finishing touches on this new record called The Kingsman, man, from Trauma to Triumph, actually. And I just got my doctorates, man, in education. So that's kind of why I've been off the grid for a couple of years. But things are good, man. Just, trying to cut my path in this, this thing we call hip hop and this thing called life, man. Just trying to, do what I can to leave a legacy that I'm trying to, put out there for the youth and for music, and just, making sure my discography is fair.
Yeah. Are you self-releasing it, or are you releasing through somebody? You've not figured that out yet?
Right now it's probably self-release, but
Okay.
we'll see where it goes, man. Like I've been hearing from a couple different people, man. Just so you know, I don't like what I'm hearing though. So
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's back to back, right? Last week, Sweet Tea getting her document, now Mykill Miers. So we got the scholars on the show.
Yeah.
sure.
Hip hop.
Blame it on hip hop.
Congratulations, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Super dope.
It was a journey indeed, for sure.
When did you start this journey?
I started the doctoral program, I want to say it was fall 2021.
Okay.
And I had a couple glitches here and there, but I just literally graduated 2 weeks ago. So
Oh, that's great, man.
So it's newly minted doctor.
Yes, Dr. Myers.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just wrote a song called Dr. Arrington versus Mr. Myers. So
Nice. So let's go back and talk about growing up and getting into the music and getting into hip hop specifically. What was growing up for you like?
Oh man, I was a DJ first. So I learned how to DJ from my neighbor. Was real good friends with Joe Cooley. DJ Joe Cooley. So I actually learned how to DJ from Joe Cooley. So like 7, 8 years old, watching him flip the, do the mixes and the blends or whatever. So I started out with that, and then just gradually grew into hip hop, man. I'm from a city called Carson, just north of Long Beach, just south of Compton, man. So we grew up in the same neighborhood as Razzcast. So
yeah,
that's where that connection comes from. But yeah, man, I was, just like everybody else in the 80s, man. I was a big fan of hip hop during the, so-called golden era of hip hop. Man, I was influenced by a lot of East Coast rap was kind of like my influence. I got a cousin from the South Bronx, so he used to send me Mr. Magic tapes and all this other stuff, man. So I was on stuff that a lot of kids out here weren't on yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of my favorite rappers is Lord Finesse. You know what I'm saying? So, I used to write his rhymes down. I was like, how does he make all these words and syllables rhyme like this? I had to figure it out. So yeah, my early influences was like, Lord Finesse, Chill Rob G,
Chill Rob.
Those guys. I'm a big fan of Scarface and Ice Cube, vintage Ice Cube, and NWA and all that. When I first heard Boys in the Hood is when I felt like I can do it. So I was like, oh, these dudes with the Jerry curls, I know about that. Let me see if I can do something like
that. Were you a record collector first?
Kind of by proxy, man. Like, so how I even got like into music, man. Like my mom used to throw these little bid whist spade parties in the early 80s, man. And so she would just make me play the records. And so I would just go through her crates, and then like it got to the point to where I was picking out the music, and everybody kept dancing and kept vibing. So So yeah, in a sense, yeah. And then my dad was a big jazz dude, so he listened to everything from Wes Montgomery to Miles Davis, and so just knowing those records and having those records. And so as I started getting into producing and rapping and all that type of stuff, you want to find a dope sample, you kind of look for the unique, odd album covers when you're in the record store and you buy that record for 17 cents and realize you got a whole bunch of gems on it. So in a sense, you can say I was a record collector for sure.
Got you. When did you decide to? So you heard Boys in the Hood and you decided to try to rhyme. Were you still DJing at the same time, or did you make?
Yeah, I was DJing mostly, man, like through middle school, through high school, doing like noon dances and things like that. You know what I mean? Like just trying to make my way, cut my teeth. And another influence would be DJ Icy Ice, who's also from the same neighborhood as me too. He was actually my algebra tutor when I was in the 8th grade. So, but yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, so then around, man, like after high school, man, I went to play football. I got hurt, and I'm sitting on the sideline, and I pull out the Onyx "Throw Your Guns" single, and on the B side was the instrumental to "Throw Your Guns," and that's when I wrote my first rhyme. And I just so happened while I'm at community college, I see Razkaz on the bus stop, and so I give him a ride. And then the next week, we ended up going to the Wake Up Show. I was just going as a chauffeur. I'm sitting in the back, hoping Sway sees me. Like, come on, man, ask me to rhyme, man. Ask me to rhyme. And so he called me. I did my thing, and he was like, "Yeah, you can come back next week." And next week was like the next 52 weeks, going into 3 years. Like I couldn't stop going up there, man. And that's kind of how I got introduced to the game, and kind of like it's that whole if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah. Wow, that's dope.
That's crazy.
There's some serious gems on here with
For
you.
sure.
There's one with you, Razkaz, and KRS.
That was so. If you listen to those, man, like you can't unless you were there. You don't know like some of how they spliced it up. Some of them nights weren't the same nights. But that particular night, it was Razkaz, KRS. That was the first time I met KRS. That wouldn't be the last time. But I remember he was there that night, man. I was sitting there like my 14-year-old child self was like, bro, I'm in KRS. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my philosophy right there. Right. So that's why is that right there. And so I met a lot of dope people through the Wake Up Show. I met Biggie at the Wake Up Show.
Wow.
Had one of my best nights the night he came through.
Wow.
I knew he was coming, so my sword was sharp that night.
Right.
You talked about how your cousin from the South Bronx sent you tapes back west. My brother lived in LA and I live in New Jersey. He would send me Wake Up Show tapes,
Okay.
And so that's how I learned about you. Like, yo, who's this cat? You know what I mean? Like, I think it was the one with you and Arrogant, Almighty Arrogant. Yeah. There's so many freestyles, but yeah.
Arrogant was that dude, man. Like I used to look up to him so much. Like, and the crazy part, man, about that time, man, like I wish I could put all that in. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish we would have recorded, like filmed more of that stuff, man. Like it went by. It was just a blur, man. It was like the Hades comet. Like it's only gonna come around once in a lifetime, man. And so you had like the golden, like the second resurgence of the golden era. People that were babies of the golden era, like myself, Tyler the Peoples, Jurassic 5. Freestyle Fellowship, all of them. Like it was one of them things, man. Like we were all in the same place at the same time, trying to put our teeth, man. And so you had to be somebody to be somebody.
Right.
Them was good days, though, man. I took it for granted because I ain't know any better, man. I just was trying to be fresh. Yeah. So, like I look back on it now, man. That's a whole documentary in and of itself. I hope they do one day.
Yeah, that would definitely be dope. Right?
Mm-hmm. They need to.
Yep. Okay, I gotta ask you because I'm always been curious, and I know really nothing about the label except what I saw at the time. But you put out your first album on Ill Boogie Records.
Yes.
With M Boogie and stuff.
With M Boogie, yes. Matt Theriault.
Yeah. Can you talk about that and the label and stuff? Because I remember there was a period of time where all of a sudden in some of the magazines, like there would be all these Ill Boogie record ads, and I'm like, wait, who are these guys? And it was just kind of like,
Yeah, the long and short of it was Matt or M Boogie used to do like break beats, the records.
Okay.
And it was really for DJs. He had made a name in that, and so I'd heard of it, but I didn't really know anything about it. And it was kind of at that point where indie labels were that thing. And so the indie label of the choice of the time in LA was Peanut Butter Wolf's label. So Stone's Throw. So I wanted to go to Stone's Throw. And so Stone's Throw told me no. They were like, nah, this ain't the kind of hip hop we trying to do, which I thought was weird. But long story short, though, I'm at a record store called Aaron's in Hollywood. I run into DJ Redmatic. And Redmatic is like, yo, what you doing these days? Like, I'm rapping. I don't know that like, this whole label thing ain't working out. I had just got off of a major deal that didn't go through. He was like, you should send it over to my man Matt over at this label at the time it was called Blackberry. And so he said you should run it by him. And I was like, all right, cool. So mind you, I had like this 3-song demo that I've been shopping on through all the labels in LA. I kept hearing but it was like slow yeahs. Right. And so I played one song for Matt and he signed me on the spot.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that song ended up being a song called Introducing, which was on a record, DJ Melody's record that he was about to put out.
Okay.
And so, but I was the first artist that he ever even thought about signing. He was like, I'm just going to do these DJ mixtape breakbeat records and I'm going to cut my teeth in that and call it a day. And then I came along and then we turned into Ill Boogie and then the rest is kind of history. Wow. But he did have a label deal he was a subsidiary of EMI.
Okay.
So that's how the ad space and the TV ads, like I was probably one of the most recognizable faces in 2000 in LA. And I was like, I had no idea at the time, and I was just in the lab and doing shows. I was just trying to be, like I said, I was just trying to be fresh, man. I kept my head down and just kept doing what I was supposed to do. So I had no idea years later when the internet became a thing that I was known worldwide. I had no idea. I had no idea about the Wake Up Show tapes, like how the CDs went out, and had no idea about none of that, man, until about MySpace.
Wow. So the first album has been a long time coming.
Yes.
How did it come together quickly? Did you have the material?
So it was one of them things, man. Like when you a starving artist, man, you just got songs in your belt and songs in your notebook. Then it's just a matter of just mixing beats to the right rhymes. And so it went by pretty quick. The features, I said I wanted somebody from the East Coast that was credible. So I went and we made a call to Freddie Fox. Yo, Vashawn, what's good, man? We called up Freddie Fox. He said yeah. Called up AG. He said yeah. And what the bug out was that like Freddie Fox knew who I was, and I had no idea that he knew who I was. So he was like, yeah, we're gonna record this at D&D, and we're gonna record in Primo's room. Nobody records in Primo's room. So he got Primo on the phone. He's like, yeah, I got this kid from LA named Mykill Miers. He's like, oh yeah, I know Mike, right? And so I was like, damn, Premier knows who I am, so I must be somebody. So we do that joint, man. And he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna diss a couple people on it, man. I hope you don't mind. I'm like, yeah, do you? You know what I'm saying? And little did I know he was gonna diss DMX, and this guy was like, all right, cool, whatever, we'll run with it. But because of that, and just my style and flow, everybody thought I was from the East Coast anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of you must be from Boston. A lot of people say I sound like Jay-Z's man. I can't think of his name right now, but I got a lot of everybody thought I was from the East Coast, even though I had a full-on Dodgers jersey on my album cover, but like everybody literally thought I was from New York or I was from Boston. So, but like I said, it's the influence.
Yeah.
Right.
And then your second album just came out the following year.
Yeah, now that came together so I was on tour. I talked to Matt and he was like, yeah, you like if you want to have this album out by the end of the year, I'm gonna need you to get it done in like 2 weeks. And so I was trying to get a Halloween release. So this is the day we were still doing, still striping Simpty to 2-inch reels.
Yeah.
So I was like, I bet. So I went to the studio for like 2 weeks straight, and that's what I came up with. And it came out October 30th, 2001. And a thing called 9/11 kind of ruined some of that push. But it came out the same day. Michael Jackson's new album, Invincible, came out. Michael Jordan came out. The opening night was October 30th with the Wizards. And so it was like, it was kind of a funny play on just like all these Michaels got new stuff coming out. But so it didn't do as well in the States as I thought it would. But little did I know, man, over in Europe, it was selling like hotcakes.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I started getting statements, and I'm like, whoa, like that's how I sell 100,000 units of vinyl in Europe. Like, who knows me in Europe? Like, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea, bro. So, but yeah, we did it in 2 weeks. Album cover idea was mine. I had the Hitchcock idea from when I was on tour. I think the last song I recorded on It's Been a Long Time Coming, I called myself the Hitchcock of hip hop. I think it was on Who Am I believe. I said the Hitchcock of hip hop, kind of just in passing. And then I'm a big Hitchcock fan anyway, so it was like it just made sense. So we kind of superimposed the Bates Motel behind me, and I put on a suit that was too small, and we took a picture in my man's kitchen, and we made it all work.
Yo, man, I remember seeing that album cover and being like, word, he's like going there like that? I'm like, that's kind of dope, you know? Because, like, I mean, fleeting hit. Who talks about Alfred Hitchcock in rap songs? You know,
right.
It's not
so,
maybe a fleeting
right.
reference
I was
here
a
or there.
Super duper huge Hitchcock fan, man, and like, and the album was dark. I was angry from all the critics of my first record, so I was if I sound angry through the whole record, then I got my point across. That was
right.
I was more pissed at that. It was like people have been asking for like a real underground hip hop record. I finally do one, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's too underground, or it sounds too much like East Coast, or it's too much Premier beats, or whatever it was." And I was like, "Man, I was using the weapons that I had, man. I didn't, wasn't coming from a big studio, I wasn't coming from Death Row, or, you know what I mean? I was coming from Ill Boogie, who gave me a $10,000 advance." You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to make this happen. And I had my boy Diverse, who he's been my producer since I started rapping, who I've known him since kindergarten.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we did our thing. And you know what I'm saying? And so, I look back on it now and I was like, I probably wasted a lot of energy just overthinking it. But The Second Coming is my favorite one of the two.
Okay. Got you.
It's been a long time and it's the more popular one of the two. But my man Tretch told me a long time ago, he's like, "Man, you got a hit, bro. Run with it. You think I like to do OPP all the time?" OPP pays the bills. So it's been a long time and a long time coming, and want to be MC, man, that pays the bills. So I get it.
Yeah. Did when you found out about the response in Europe, did you get to tour over there?
Not until I want to say MySpace. So it was like 05.
Oh wow, okay.
I went overseas in 05 on a MySpace, put it together myself, slide in people's DMs, kind of hook up.
Wow.
I was out there for 2 weeks. Well, it was supposed to be 2 weeks. I ended up staying out there for 2 months.
Wow.
That's in the airport coming back, I ran into the Roots, and the Roots was like, "Yo, what you doing out here?" I was like, "Man, I just got off tour." He's like, "Roll with us." So I roll with them. And then getting ready to leave again, I ran into De La Soul. De La Soul was like, "What you doing out here?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to make this money." He's like, "Roll with us." Wow. 2 months later, I was like, damn near had to redo my visa. Like, I'd been out there for so long.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I went. That was like 05. And then I went back in 07. Then went back in 2009. And then I had a run with the Licks in 2011. That kind of let me know who I was. Right? Like, if I'm opening up for the Licks and I'm by myself, and if you ever been to a Lick show, you know how wild they get. And I'm holding my own, and I ain't got no hype, man. Just me and my DJ. You know what I'm saying? And we out there, for an hour. And that's the thing I love about Europe. They be like, "Oh, we need you to do like an hour and a half, 2 hours." I'm like, "Oh, all right. I got the catalog for this."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I come out back home to LA, man. You 30 minutes, you done. Like, like, we want you up there all day, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just do the hits and get up and get out. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Europe, they want you to do stuff. So I always come up with like, take it back to my era where I just, I'll do a cover of Ain't No Half Stepping. Special Ed, I got it made. You know what I'm saying? So crazy story in Europe, in Germany, I did Ain't No Half Stepping, and Big Daddy Kane was literally in the crowd. So I brought him up to do the second verse. Like, yo, run this, bro. This your joint.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
So yeah, man, I had no idea in the time, but like I wish I did. I wish, you sign them little foreign license deals with Groove Attack and all that. You just really doing it for the check. You have no idea that they really putting work out there. And, it's selling, it's doing well. I had no clue. I was like, man, if I'd have known this, I'd have moved out here a long time ago.
Right. You're right.
I'd have known that in 06, bro. I probably would have. I'd be foreign. I'd be a whole nother citizen by now.
Right.
Many brothers did it. I was real cool with Grand Agent. He was out there. He lived out there for years. Rashid,
smart.
Yeah.
Donald D.
Yeah.
Africa Islam.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I believe
already the Rugged Man.
Yeah, I think J. Roo stay out in Switzerland or something.
J. Roo's out there. Yep.
Yeah. I caught him at the Hip Hop Pimp a couple years, 10 years ago now.
Yeah, 10 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, 10 years. It goes by fast when you get old, bro.
Yeah. Yes, it does. So after the Ill Boogie situation, what were you thinking? Because it was a couple years until you put, like another 5 years till you put out a record.
Yeah, so after this Ill Boogie folded, like they went, I think they signed the group Styles of Beyond, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think he got some major distribution for that. And then like things went belly up. And so I just took my catalog and just went on the road. I own my master. So I was on the road. I remember EMI sent me like 6 pallets of my vinyl tapes and posters. And
wow.
I was like, I'm about to run with this. I'm selling all this. You know what I'm saying? So I would just get in my Explorer, man, and just go on road trips, man, like, go to Arizona and Montana, these weird places where they had college radio at, and just kept doing my thing. So around 05, I tried to put out another record. I was going to do it totally independent, and I think it got leaked online or whatever, but I ended up putting it out. It's called The Trials of Job. It was really me experimenting, trying to really like get into my production, and it didn't go over as well as I had liked, but some decent stuff on it. But I think I found my niche. And so then years later, I decided to do my own label, and Take It in Blood came out of 09. And I just been putting up my own stuff ever since, man. I know I got a lane of fans that are down for my stuff. So if I could just sell it to them, then that's the point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. How was it? And you only put out your own stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was I was gonna say how was it? Okay, how was the over the years, because you've kind of been in it for a minute, the switching from digital era CDs to digital downloads, and then now we're in the streaming era.
I came from the cassette vinyl era, and then
right.
My second album, CDJs were invented, so it was about CDs, and then the third and fourth album was all MP3.
Yeah.
So I just had to balance the two. I've always done physical copies, except for my last record, but it was during COVID, so I was just really just experimenting with some stuff or whatever. But online presence has helped, because it kind of keeps me connected.
Yeah.
I had got with Ryan Leslie years ago in how to kind of just sell the consumer that whole model, and keeping in contact via text or email with my fans, and I'll just pop up and send them stuff, and I was doing tiny concerts before that was a thing, with all the help of Ryan Leslie. And so yeah, I had to make the switch. It's always difficult, man, to be the artist, producer, businessman, promoter. Like it's difficult. So I kind of got to do everything in waves. I kind of set the plan up, then I make the record, and then after I make the record, then I put the business hat back on, man, and try to make sure I get it in the right spots. And so what makes it dope now is that like I don't have to do this for money like I used to. You know what I'm saying? Like my catalog and some of the things that I've done business-wise with music, while I was off the scene, I was licensing music before that was a thing.
Right.
And so if you ever watch the Kardashians or Flavor of Love or anything on VH1 circa 2003 to like 2012, a lot of that hip hop stuff you heard in the background was my stuff. It was either my original stuff or stuff I produced. And then that spilled over to, because VH1 was bought out by Viacom, and CSI, and anything on Channel 2 that was using hip hop, my stuff.
Yeah.
And like I've got music on Law and Order SVU and Grey's Anatomy, bro. So like
that's great.
So because of that, I can move with how I want to move and put out music when I want to put it out. And if it sucks, then I'll stop. You know what I'm
saying? Have you thought about, is there any demand in going back and doing, like, since vinyl is kind of the in thing, like for some of the stuff that didn't come out on vinyl? Have you thought about doing it?
Yeah. So at the 30-year anniversary of It's Been a Long Time Coming, I will go and put out everything that I've ever released out on vinyl.
Wow.
I think I owe them that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Like, especially for like the album 3 to like 7, there was no vinyl for that outside of what I did with Pause 1 recently. And it's still, vinyl is still in demand. It's always been in demand in Europe, so I should have known better. But yeah, I got to do another run of It's Been a Long Time Coming. And in fact, I think I'm gonna release it exactly how I did in 2000, where it was, I did a instrumental album and a regular album. So the instrumental album, I outsold the regular album, by the way. So
really?
That's the dope part. It's like, oh damn, they was really buying the instrumentals up, and it was a time where freestyles was a thing. So like a lot of DJs were buying, you know. And then whenever I give out stuff to DJs, I always give out 2 copies anyway. So it's just the way it's supposed to be. And so then the second coming, and then I really want to put like Take It in Blood and the newer stuff. I really want to put that on vinyl because I think it deserves that kind of life form, to be honest.
I think it'll give it a new life. So
sure.
Yep, exactly. I was talking to Chuck D earlier.
Word.
And, he's like, oh, you got my house. I'm like, yeah. So I sent him the links. We'll see if he shows up. We'll see
if he shows up, man. I might fan out for a minute. There's another one I met that he knew me. He was like, "What's up, Mike?" And I damn near kissed myself, bro. I was like, "You had no idea, bro." I was like, I wanted to be Chuck D when I was 14, man. Just had every hat and every video we had. Matter of fact, my very first talent show, I did Bring the Noise.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So I met him at a book signing. I had worked with Flavor on Flavor of Love, and I had worked with Johnny Juice. So then I got to meet him. He's like, "We should do a song." And I was like, "Say less." Say less. Let me know when you're ready. I got you. So he did a joint for me on an album or 2 ago, and that was dope, man. And just have him in my pocket to be able to call and, you know, get advice from and mentor from. And it's been like the blessing of all blessings, man. Like, that's really why I rap, was just so I can impress the dudes that impressed me when I was young.
Yeah.
So when I can be in a room with Chuck D and LL Cool J and Ice Cube, and they all vouch for me as an artist, then I've already won. I don't need no Grammy. I don't need no platinum plaque. I got validation from my pioneer peers. So,
yeah. So you did a joint that the title was thrown around for a minute there, the I Rap Black joint.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was something that Johnny Juice had scratched, some scratch vocals he found, or whatever. And I just like, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I Rap Black. So it was dope. But just to hear him on a track with me, and he shouted me out in the beginning. So I was like, I ain't really got to show up no more for this. Like, you already said my name. I ain't got to show up no more. It's Chuck. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Chuck has been a hell of an influence on me, man. Just, you know, personally, musically, and just kind of watching him over the years, man. Like, to watch this dude at his age still be on a tour, man, and still be as vibrant, as energetic as he was 40 years ago, man. Knock it off.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. And a little self-promotion this week. Chuck's new album comes out on Friday. So people know.
Radio Armageddon.
Yep. Radio Armageddon.
I can't wait.
It'll be out on Friday. Yeah, I
I just
know.
want to hear him say bass.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't let us do that, but
Right.
that's a whole other story. But yeah. Anyway, yes, Flatline. Any questions, sir?
Man, I just got to salute Mr. Myers there, because you have been just consistently coming with it. And whether you're sending me joints or I'm finding your joints, always playing your stuff. And yeah, much respect.
No, I appreciate it, man. Like this career don't last if it's not for people like you. So, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a pleasure.
At the end of the day, man, I'm still a fan. So, like I said, if this sucks to me, you will never hear it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and then, like I said, if I hear people consistently saying, "Hey, yo, that shit wasn't it," then I'll hang it up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be everybody's mentor. Let them know what a 30-year career looks like.
Right.
What equipment are you using these days?
I still got I got the MP4000. I still got my Triton from 2000s.
Wow.
And yeah, just I work with that, and then hit the studio and let these dudes do Logic, and because I'm still learning Logic. I'm still a Pro Tools dude, but like, yeah, we just I'm putting it together the old way, man. I'm slapping these keys still and still finding samples, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's dope. Yeah,
I don't know any other way.
Yeah, I got you. Is that what you? So you've had the Triton for a while, but you had that.
Yeah, I've moved through the MPC space.
Okay.
From the 2000 to the 3000 to the I even tried the little one and I didn't like that one too much, but the 4000 kind of gives me the old 2000 feel, so I mess around with that.
Got you. And you that's interesting that you still go to the studio, huh?
Yeah, I still I got kids now, man, so like they get nosy, they want to hear, and or they my dogs is barking or something, man, so I still like to go to the studio. I got a young engineer and he bugs out every time I'm there. He's like, "Yo, we only booked 3 hours, dude. How you get 12 songs done?" I was like, "Cause I don't play, man. I come from the era we had to stripe that simply, bro, and $300 3 hours. We in and out. I don't bring no notebook. We in and out. I'm here to play. I don't bring no guests with me. I ain't got time to drink and smoke. Let's get it done. I'm trying to get 12 songs in 3 hours every time I go in." So
wow,
I still got that same work ethic.
Yeah,
professional.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that's the way to go, though. I think and then from his perspective, he runs a studio, so he gets all types of characters coming through there.
Right.
Young dudes be coming in there, and it's it's Instagram this and smoke this, smoke that, take a break. I ain't got time, man. I do it at home. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how I got in business. This is how I stayed in the business 30 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody called me for work. I try to make sure I'm on time. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to be late. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to get in, get out. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten commercials off of just being on time.
Oh yeah.
Finishing faster than they thought. They were like, "Oh, we got some extra time. You want to do this? Got this idea for this commercial for, Nintendo Dust when that was a thing." And I was like, "Cool, whatever, I got you." Boom. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got the NBA 2K 2008 title song, was being in the studio. And I was finished before everybody else was. And like, "Hey, you got something for this?" I was like, "I sure do. Let me click. Say you ready, you ain't gotta get ready."
Do you still DJ?
In my head, I do. But the funny thing is, man, I work for a school. So like whenever there's like any kind of function that they got going on, they always hit me up with the playlist or whatever. And I'm like, I got y'all. And so I'm always a DJ at heart though, man. I hear everything in a blend. Like, oh, I can put them two together. That sounds dope.
Right.
I think that's helped me as an artist too, though. Like, if I'm honest.
Yeah, sure.
My ear fresh to cadence and timing and then beats and and how beats sound and all that other stuff. So
yeah.
Do the kids you teach or taught, that they know you rhymed?
I let them find out organically, and then when they do find out, it changes everything, which is why I don't say nothing.
Okay.
So if I start out with that, then it's like I get the smirks and the side eyes, and then then like it'll just kind of organically come up in conversation, and they're real quick to go Google, and they're like, "That's you, Mr. A." I'm like, "Absolutely." I had a whole nother life before I met y'all. And be careful, don't get slick and sassy at the mouth because I still got it.
Right.
So
battling these kids.
When I worked at the juvenile home, man, them kids would want to battle me all the time, and I would literally hurt their feelings. I was like, "You don't, I do this, man.
You don't want this.
I really do this. Like, don't let this uniform fool you. I do this. I hurt your feelings bad. It's no mercy. Like I tell them, man, killers kill, bro. Like we talking rap, killers kill.
Yeah, right.
Just like when my son's playing basketball, like, hey man, shoot. I don't care if you're 12. Don't come to my space. It's my space. I take it serious though. Like if somebody like they really test me, I'll be like, all right, look, I'm gonna give you a chance, man. Walk away. But if you don't, just know you can't beat me up either. So, however y'all want to handle this, let's go get it.
It's stuck.
Yep. Rashawn says you're quick with the block button too.
Oh, Blockavelli, dog. In a minute. I have no time for foolishness online, man.
Yeah, no. Block button is a powerfal tool.
Man, yep. I am Mutombo with the block button. I'm telling you.
I'm learning slowly.
Yeah.
I still had I don't have time to engage, bro. Like,
It's that down a rabbit hole of nonsense.
Yeah, because you find yourself all kind of extra hype over nothing, man. Like, I ain't got time for these Macintosh Machiavellis around here, man. These keyboard gang lords around here. Inbox Tupac is what I call them.
Oh man.
I gotta sing you that song, Flatline. I got a song I called Computer Love, man. I sampled Roger Troutman and Zap. And I just was really going in on what we talking about right now.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
That's great.
Yeah, keep me in the loop on everything that you have.
For sure, man. I most definitely will, man. I really, when I was in the doctoral program, man, I couldn't put the two worlds together. Like I had to really step away from music because I couldn't find my inspiration, even though I was hearing dope stuff and I was struggling writing, which I don't really typically do, but I had to step away in order to focus on that.
Yeah.
And so now that that's done, like I can't wait to get on stage again.
Oh, that's dope. How do you
Michael, should I send him what you sent me?
You can for sure. For
Okay.
sure. That actually comes out in a week or so.
Oh, okay.
Word. There you go. How do you approach writing, Mike?
It really depends on. Usually starts with something that I want to say.
Okay.
Right. So I may hear somebody like Black Thought. He may say a phrase that I like, and I'm like, oh damn. I'm gonna see if I can. I think I was listening to him and the song got Thought versus Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I'm sitting between two stone columns, and I was like, I can visualize it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sounds dope. I want to write something, right? And so then it's usually a word, or maybe it's a sound, or maybe I heard somebody's verse and something they said sparks an idea. It's really like it really depends. But when I'm sitting down purposely to write, I already had an idea I had been kind of vacillating on for a while.
Got you. Okay.
And sometimes I think like, oh, this would be dope to do a song like this. And I'll write it down, write the idea down. And then when I get a minute, I'll go back to that idea and see if it sparks some level of creativity from that.
Yeah.
So like this record was all about, my journey from this MC to this doctoral student to this doctoral candidate to this doctor, and then me being a father and navigating that, and then me kind of being a mentor to young people. So it was a lot of that. So it's not a lot of I'm fresher than you. I'm not a lot of braggadocious rap that people are used to hearing me from,
right.
But the same intensity is there. It's just more. It's directed in a certain direction on this record.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
But I do got a couple though that have to kind of,
oh yeah.
Every now and then I gotta let you know how strong my pen is.
Right.
Keep in the chamber. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Don't sleep, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And then for some of the battle stuff that I've done is I'm usually talking about somebody, or a couple of somebodies. It's just somebody pissed me off one day, and it's like I'm talking to him. He don't know it though, but
Right.
I'm talking to him.
Right. Exactly.
And then every now and then I might say his name or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, he dissed me," But usually though, it's like something happened or I seen something that I didn't like, and it pissed me off. So then I'll say it from that.
Yeah, got you. All right. So I got to know: do you have a favorite Hitchcock film?
Vertigo.
Oh yeah, that's a damn good one.
Vertigo. I thought that Vertigo was dope. Just the concept itself was dope.
Yeah, Vertigo is dope. Yeah. Yeah, it's between for me. It's between that and North by Northwest, but
North by Northwest would be my second as well.
Okay, there you go.
And then probably followed by M's for Murder.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I had to rewatch it when Eminem put his record out.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh, touche. I need to check this again.
Yeah, I would probably haven't seen it since film
school.
school.
He was really dope.
Yeah. No, that's good. Okay. Yeah, great minds, man. That's good. Yeah. Ultra Mag, any questions for our guest?
I want to go back because, like I said, I might always say I'm from the East Coast, but one of my favorite times was that 90s hip hop, like out west, because being from the East, I felt like not we had lost it, but it seemed like the freshest stuff was coming out west, like the most, to me, the most creative stuff. So that era with, Wake Up Show, Good Life, you talking about, you from Carson, so Western Hemisphere,
right.
Rest in Peace, Mean Green.
Yeah, no doubt.
All that type of stuff to me was like the freshest stuff. So, thank you for being a part of that era and bringing out that music, man. That was
it was a time. It was definitely a time to be alive, man. Like I said, we didn't really know the gravity of it in the moment. We were just we was all trying to be fresh because it got to a point to where it was like everybody was signifying the West to like gangster rap and 6'4s and all that, and we was like, nah, we've been busting rhymes for a minute, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, as soon as we get our turn, then we can showcase our talent, you know what I'm saying? And so people like the Western Hemisphere, Voodoo, Razzcast, Mean Green, and Freestyle Fellowship and the Far Side and Jurassic 5 and all the like. We were trying to be dope and unique in our own way. And like I said, we were the sons of the golden era. So this was our interpretation of what we felt hip hop was. So it was, like I said, it was such a dope ass time. And I was fortunate enough to be part of that LA legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was.
No, it was an interesting time. Ultramag, I think you were up on it before me. I mean, I knew Far Side and kind of the obvious stuff, but like I didn't find out about the other stuff until later.
Yeah, you had to be the. Like I said, there's so many people that I'm not naming. People under the stairs and Luke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Madlib and Wild Child and them. So it was dope. Like it was just really a dope time, and it was competitive, but it was a friendly competition. Like we all supported each other. It wasn't no beef. We all supported each other, man. And shout out to and rest in peace to Bigger B, who threw the club called the Unity, and that was like a safe haven for us to really because we were opening up for Wu-Tang and Nas and all the East Coast giants, and it was like the West Coast dudes had a chance to get these big crowds. And I remember opening up for EPMD, and I remember opening up for J. Rule, opening up for Boot Camp Click, and just trying to let us know how dope we was. You know what I'm saying? Like my man D Cypher said, like Liquid Crew, like that whole crew was strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we was all up there trying to cut our teeth, man, just trying to be dope in the city of dope people. So we had no idea the Wake Up Show would be what it was, but it was a mainstay if you was trying to get on in LA.
Yeah. I remember because I used to go visit my brother, and I remember walking down the street, and they used to have the Herb magazines for free at the news. I would pick them up and just be like, well, "Who's that? Who's T Love? Who's Urban Prop? Who's Volume 10? Who's this?" And I got like a whole education. And then when I heard the music, I could put it all together. Like I remember when the High Road Hobo Junction battle
Yes.
happened. My brother sent it to me, like, as soon as he taped it, he mailed it out to me. People on the East didn't learn about it until like a month or so later when they got the source. But I was telling my man, like, yo, I got the tape. He's like, no, I'm like, pow, press play. He's like, yo, Severe is serving him. I'm like, yo, man, I got the tape. So that stuff just went, that stuff went global. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, we had no idea. I remember listening to that live, sitting in my me and my homie's car.
Yeah.
We was sitting on somebody's block, just listening to it like we usually do. In his Honda Accord, my homie Danny, and we was sitting there like, man, he is killing these kids right now, right? And so that's how we used to listen to the Wake Up Show, man. And like, who knew I'd be on it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it wasn't even a dream. It was just like, them dudes are in the industry. I get it, but when I finally had a chance to go, I kind of opened the floodgates for every other unsigned artist to go up there. Like, I was playing demos on that at the Wake Up Show. That's how long I was out there.
Wow.
So, matter of fact, one of the first songs I played was Trigonometry, the original version, and it was on that. And I want to say that was 96. Damn. And Sway was like, yeah, we'll play that. I was like, cool, play this. When that's your thing, like, you'd be hard pressed to play a dat now, but
right.
yeah, it was, and like I said, it was a dope time, man, and like you really had to be dope.
Yeah,
you had to be dope live, you had to be dope freestyle, you had to be, had to be on point. You know what I'm saying? And so it was a really, really good time, man. Like I said, I wish a lot of that stuff was recorded, man. That'd be a hell of a movie / documentary to really kind of see the breakdown. I think that show they did on Netflix where they talked about briefly about LA hip hop and underground scene. Yeah. It touched on it a little bit, and it was a good touch. It was a good look. And then my man DJ Bonds put out a Where We From documentary about just after that. So I was like, the newer cats, and it was the battle scene or whatever at his club Elements. If y'all hadn't checked that out, it's dope.
No, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's called Where We From, and it's really, really dope. I'm featured in it. A lot of cats from that era was featured in it. You kind of get to see that the urban side of LA, not the Hollywood glamour glitz side. You get to see how hip hop was, and battling was like a thing. Like you had my day, you couldn't battle, you couldn't rap,
right?
And you couldn't freestyle. Like freestyle for us is different on the West Coast than it is on the East Coast. Freestyle for us on the West Coast is coming off the head, spontaneous. You ain't write nothing down. You know what I'm saying? Not we wrote a verse about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's different interpretations of freestyle. And so you rolling around with kids like Peace from Freestyle Fellowship. I remember driving from my house in Carson to Hollywood to take him to a record label. It was a 35-minute ride. He freestyled the whole time nonstop. And I was just mad he didn't let me get a turn.
Right.
But you learn from cats like that, man, and that's how you cut your teeth in the game.
Yeah.
So, 35 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah. That's dope, man. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you.
So, crazy to even say that I said 35 years.
I know, right? It is crazy. Mike, so do you have a timeline for the new record?
Yeah, man, probably I want to say July.
Okay.
Something like I said, it's really just down to like what I'm gonna put on the record.
Okay, got you.
I recorded like I usually do my process, man. I record 40 songs and I pick the best 17.
Wow.
And so I got 42 songs and I'm trying to pick the best 12.
Wow. Man, so you got serious archives then.
Yeah, people keep telling me that 17 songs on an album is too much these days.
It is a lot.
They didn't tell Redman that.
Right.
They sure did. And so I'm thinking about doing like a part 1, part 2, or I don't know. I might just because there's so much good stuff that I've done. There's a couple of like I still need to work on some things, but I know I got a solid 20. Now I got to cut from that to get to the whatever magic number I decide on. But I'm happy with the sound. I'm happy with the topic. I'm happy with where it's at. For a minute, man, when I was going through this doctoral journey, man, I literally thought I lost it. Like I was like, maybe I ain't got this rap thing no more, man. Like I don't know if I got it because I couldn't find my voice anymore.
Yeah.
Right. I had changed from 2020 to 2024. It changed like as a man. Right. And so like I ain't want to just be like, yeah, I'm better than so what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like done that on 7 different records. So like what can I talk about now that I'm passionate about that makes sense that I can make dope? And so that was a struggle. And then once I found it, I couldn't stop writing. Like I've recorded 42 songs. I got another 40 that I've written that I haven't even put to music yet.
God. Damn.
That's amazing. That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a worker, man. Like once I'm focused, man, I'm focused.
Yeah.
And I like to write though. So like I don't mind. I might write some shit just to write, just to see if I can make it work.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
You know, like I was thinking about the other day, I was like, maybe I should do like a whole movie series. Like I just do songs after movie titles and put a you know concept to it. You know what I'm saying? And so I started with Tomorrow Never Dies, a James Bond joint.
Yeah.
So I wrote that, and then I wrote a song called Ocean's 14, like what Ocean's 14 would be if Bernie Mac was still alive. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, those were the first two already off top. And I was like, yeah, I probably could pull this off. It's probably gonna take me a minute, but because I got to find the right sound for it. But Ocean's 14, I recorded already, and it's like,
oh, dope.
It sounds like something special. It just but so I'm always thinking like, what can I do to be creative? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah, love
that's fucking great. I love stuff like
that. RJ Payne can do it. I can do it too, I guess.
Right.
RJ Payne is dope. Like he's another dude. I mean, his inspiration is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, he's nonstop.
Yeah, man. I feel weird, man. Like just being in front of the camera rapping. I'm not from that era, so like I feel stupid doing a selfie rap. Like it's just me though. I like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody keeps telling me to do it. I should. Like I could put out albums and shit that people probably hadn't heard and turn them into freestyle reels or whatever. I feel mad weird doing it myself. I might have to get somebody to record me and just like record about an hour of this, and then we'll just help me splice them up and I put them out there. I just feel hella weird doing it though. Like I said, I'm just from a different era.
Yeah. Yep. Bashan says cinematic hip hop. Yeah.
I always think about you when I do some shit like that, because I know he is the black film critic for sure.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
most definitely. Okay. Any other questions for our guest this evening? All right, Mykill, thanks for coming and joining us.
I appreciate the time, man. I appreciate the look down memory lane.
Yeah,
you know, it's always good to talk about them, the old days and you know how I started and how I got in the game. And so like I appreciate it, but you just don't really hear stories like these anymore. It's like who talks about going to the radio station now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We went to get college radio tours when that was a thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I remember going from city to city, going to schools, just doing radio shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And going on major radio at 11 o'clock at night to freestyle and curse.
Right. On radio, right?
On radio, on live radio. That stopped quick, but like,
yeah.
But it was a thing. I remember the first time I went to Highland and Yucca, where the old 92.3 Beat studio was, and it was like hella small and like that. This is where they making all this music come out of. Like, damn, that's what we doing. So, like I said, I met a lot of fascinating people through the radio and through that era, man. Like, you know, people who was like interns and now like execs at Viacom.
Yeah.
Asking for music for TV shows and movies. So, you know, say for the young cats in the game, always be nice, always be professional, because you never know who you see when you on top, who you might see on your way to the bottom.
That's right.
Facts.
Yep, facts. Exactly. All right.
30 years in the game has got me because I'm humble and nice. As my grandfather used to say, man, humbleness will get you in the doors, and arrogance will get you kicked out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. Mykill Miers, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. And looking forward to the new music. So keep us posted, please.
For sure, man. I'll inbox all y'all some stuff. You know,
Okay.
I got a couple drinks ready to go that I could definitely use your opinion on. Tell me if this shit is whack or not.
Yeah.
Word.
That's not it. I was like, I bet. That's not it. Let me try something else.
All right, bro. Thank you, sir.
All right, y'all stay safe, man.
You too. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
You're too close, man. You're too close, man.
You're too close, man.
You're too close, man.
You got the dial on.
Oh, man.
Dial on setting. Man.
You're too close, man.
Damn.
That was dope. That was very dope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking for the. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome back.
Real deal MC right there.
Yes, indeed. And I love the fact that he's trying to take his music in different directions, not just because that's the one thing. Yeah, you could spit and brag and stuff like that, but like, trying to push things conceptually, always got to appreciate it.
Yep.
You get older.
Yeah, exactly.
You run out of people to shoot. You got to do something.
Run out of dope to sell. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
What else?
Exactly. What else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna rhyme about? So, real quick, I want to mention this because I saw it. I think it was Davey D from the Bay Area had posted it up that if I can find it again, briefly, I think I reposted it. Let me see.
Is this your point that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That let me see if I can pull it up. No, I can't pull it up. Oh, yeah, C post. I'm reading this from Instagram briefly. This weekend, we learned that the young adult edition of Can't Stop, Won't Stop is one of 233 books quarantined for removal by the Department of Defense in elementary, middle, and high schools that serve the children of military in 161 schools across 11 countries, 7 states, Guam, and Puerto Rico. They're banning books about hip hop. Among other books. But yep, there I got that too. I got it too.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
It's an amazing fucking So this is where it starts, man. What was the video? Was it the Bush Babies that had the music video where it started off that in the future where hip hop is illegal? Was it the Bush Babies that did that? I know somebody did.
I can see it in my head. I don't know if it was.
Maybe I'm wrong on that. But
it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been. But yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, what's happening? Ultramag, are you okay?
I have to silence myself.
Yes. I'll let Vashon speak for you. So, hello,
Vashon.
Hey. What's good?
What's going on?
I thought he was going to drop the wisdom.
Oh, you are live.
We are live. Yeah, we're still on the show. Oh, did you want to come on after the show?
Yeah, I thought this was after. My bad.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, then you can hang out with us as we wrap it up. But
okay, cool. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hanging in, man. Hanging in.
Okay.
It's been a couple of days, but
absolutely.
Weeks.
Yeah, weeks. Real quick as we wrap this up, Flatline, new episode of Hip Hop Gods today.
There is a new episode of Hip Hop Gods tonight.
Yes.
Wow. I'll run down all the new music that I played on this sucker.
Really?
The new Ice-T single, Hardcore Motherfucker, is in there.
Currency too.
Great. And it's 7 minutes long. He just goes
That's
and
great.
does it.
That's so dope.
New Dazzy D, new Filmos Chill, finally, that I remember to play him. New E40, new DJ Muggs and Cynic, new Rhythmatic, new Alcoholics featuring Psycho Les, and new Do Me Right featuring Breeze Everflowing and Ski.
Oh, that must be Hungry then.
It is. Yes, it is.
It is.
Yep.
That was the first song I did for that album.
Oh man, that's a highlight for me.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Is that the one YZ was fawning over last night? Is that the?
No, he was. Well, yeah, no, he liked that one too. Yeah.
Oh, Hungry was the one with the where he said he chopped it up the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
That was that was funny because I literally thought that was going to be my one contribution to the album, and I was like, okay, it's like, oh, goodbye, Bashan.
Bye.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be like my one joint, and then Doomy's like, hey, I got this other one. You want to try it? I'm like, okay. And then I sent it back, and he's like, okay. Like, yeah, I got this other one. I'm like, okay. And then I ended up producing. At one point, it was half the record, and then we added a couple joints. But yeah, so.
Well, it was funny because every time YG would be like, yo, C-Doc, you did that one? He's like, yeah. He's like, you did that one? He's like, yeah. You don't know YG?
Which is funny because I'm actually, I said, you know what? I sent him a beat a long while back. I mean, I'm talking a couple of years. And then we were talking about something like a year ago, I think it was. And then all of a sudden I got an email from him. He's like, yo, I'm just seeing this now. What? Can I use this? I'm like, use what? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I made it for you. And he's like, oh, okay. All right. It was hilarious because it was just like, didn't expect it. But yeah, why? And YZ was, yo, man, YZ's new record, yeah, it's dope. I can't wait. You guys are gonna love it when he gets, it figured out. But it's good. He was selling himself short. It's dope. So
it's the Renaissance, my friends.
Renaissance.
Yep, there it is.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I guess that wraps us up tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. What do we got? Huh, Jennifer?
Go ahead. I guess it wraps it up. See ya. We're not going to talk about it.
We gotta let everybody know. So tomorrow night, Body Hat Weekly, probably. I can't remember if they're doing an episode or not. Have they posted it?
I thought they did. I don't know. I thought they did.
Yeah.
You're looking it up, Flatline?
Yep.
I thought they did too, but I'm not sure if I'm mixing that up with last week.
Yeah, see, that's what
I see nothing.
Okay. So, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to pop on with something. So, keep an eye out for that right here on Channel Zero tomorrow night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're up late on the East Coast, I know. Friday, Angie Don't Stop radio show with Flatline, Mr. Chuck D, and myself. I got the Spit Slam Jam of the week. Flatline with the Hip Hop Gods, and that'll be on Mixcloud and select radio stations around the country. And of course, on Sunday, the mixtape with our man DJ Soulbuck, Ultramag, and Jennifer Jenny. And Soulbuck will be spinning the music of our next week's guest. Who we got coming up next week, friends?
Jennifer, you gotta learn. You gotta hit me over anyway. Pause. We have the music of Jay Swiss.
Jay Swiss.
So we always have, get some younger people on here. So
yes.
We have Jay Swiss.
Yes, looking forward to talking to Jay Swiss. Jay Swiss got some dope music. And so if you're unfamiliar and you don't feel like going and streaming it, because, why would you do that? Check out the mixtape on Sunday with Soulbuck. And then we will be back here on next Tuesday talking to Jay Swiss right here on It's C-Doc again. Thank you, everybody watching live. If you dig what we're doing, please like and subscribe. Some new music videos out. We got that Filmos Chill, Enemy Radio. Enemy Radio drops on Friday. Chuck D's new album, Chuck D Presents Enemy Radio, Radio Armageddon. And yeah, good stuff. So stay tuned. What we got coming up. And we'll see you next week for another episode of It's Z-Doc Again.